미국 남부 테네시 출신의 블레이크 맥클레인은 뮤직 프로듀서이자 가수이며 지금은 28만 명의 구독자를 가진 음악평론 유튜버이기도 한데요. 2020년 3월부터 프로듀서의 관점에서 본 팝음악에 대한 리뷰를 올리며 큰 인기를 끌고 있었습니다. 주로 유명 팝 가수들의 곡이나 앨범 리뷰를 하던 그는 우연히 방탄소년단의 DNA 뮤직비디오를 보고 빠져들게 되었고 특히 방탄의 라이브 무대에 놀랐다고 합니다.
I've heard some K-pop stuff, but never really dived in a lot. But what I have heard, I absolutely love. Production is amazing. Their voices are crazy. The dancing is unbelievable, and I've heard the videos are amazing too.
그는 방탄소년단을 기점으로 K-팝에 대한 생각 또한 완전히 달라졌다고 하는데요. 이렇게 그를 반하게 만든 방탄소년단의 음악에 관한 리뷰 하이라이트 지금 바로 시작합니다.
So clean and so jazzy. There's like a ton of compression on that guitar, and it's just got a light, nice, like airy sound to it. Okay, awesome example of nice contrast between sections. So like you have nice, smooth, elongated notes, and then it switches immediately over to like that little rap section right there. So it goes really, really rhythmic, and then they'll probably just kind of open it up again. Okay, so hear how big everything was for that chorus, and then they just suck all of that verb out, suck everything out, and they just bring it right back to where it was, but with a little bit more, like the kick now is kind of driving this this second verse, because it has to be a little bit different from that first one. You have to, it's like the same, but you have to drive it just a little bit more. Also, his vocal right there. So the last one was really clean, and then this one comes in, and it definitely has like a proximity effect on it where you sing like this close to the microphone, and you almost overload the mic and you peak it a little bit. Or you can just like really push a preamp, which, you know, I'm not going to explain that right now, but like you can push that to get that sort of like warm, distorted, saturated sound. Also, the way that they're switching off vocally is just amazing. Like everybody has their own kind of little mix and their own little something. Like one guy had a little bit of proximity effect on his voice. The other guy had just a little bit more auto-tune as like a That's sick. Okay, so the video is just unbelievable. They're dancing. I mean, you can just tell they practice so much. Like I know they work them really, really, really hard, and these guys are like heavy into their music and they're heavy into their dancing and stuff, and they just absolutely, it shows. It definitely shows. I mean, absolutely killer. Again, I'd be more than happy to do some more of this stuff. It's cool. It's definitely cool. Gosh. I just have to say, these videos are so high quality. It's unbelievable. I can't even imagine the amount of money that goes into building some of these sets. It's got to be astronomical. Okay, so already, just like American pop music, it applies to pop music across the board, literally. But like same line, sail. Okay, so cool. Great place to go for verses. You go to the rap, which this is nice because they have so many people they can swish back and forth, and it's always keeping you entertained, you know, with, okay, who's next, before you ever get bored with any one person's voice, which I doubt you would. But it just makes it like super entertaining. But with the rap vocals, it's nice because it kind of builds tension on these verses because there's no real melody, and it kind of makes you just like low-key feel uncomfortable, but you don't know that it actually makes you feel uncomfortable, if that kind of makes sense. It just builds tension is all it's doing, because you want there to be a melody, your body's craving a melody, your brain is craving a melody, and there isn't one, it's just rhythmic. So then, when the chorus opens up, you can go to these nice, maybe like elongated notes kind of a thing, and it's finally melodic, and it gives you that that resolution. Building. See how it's just building that tension? You're bringing in that that swell in the back, that it's just like a it's just going literally like a sine wave that's going up kind of a thing. Or you can use like white noise to do it and stuff like that. There. Also notice the difference between their voices there too. That's another massive contrast. You have something that's deeper, darker, and then you go up to this nice, light, airy sound that. You know what I mean? So it feels like there's a big difference and it's going somewhere. First off, I love the play on Greek mythology. It's so sick. I mean, I knew they did that with the song because I love Greek mythology, Roman mythology, all that stuff. See, I was talking about the call and responses yesterday in the actual like album review, and everybody was saying they look at them as like fan chants, which is cool, and that's exactly what they are. But that right there is 100% the call and response, like those fan chants. That's the perfect place for it, with those raps, and then you have the sung, and then you have the rap again. Also, notice like the difference between the live, like the actual recording, and then the live performance. It's most of the time they take the track and they put it back behind, so it actually still has the vocal and everything there. But like here, I'm gonna watch for a couple different things. I'll let you know if I see them. But you can hear their vocal is way drier. Like there's not as much verb on it, nothing like that, because of the way that it's hard to process the vocals live like that, you know. So you do have the backing track, but then you have the normal live vocal with not very much on it. You can put verb and you can put auto-tune and all that stuff on it, but here, they probably didn't because they don't want people thinking that they're lip syncing. So I have a theory. Sometimes with live performances, what you'll do, especially if you're doing a lot of dancing like this, which I know these guys are in just crazy shape. They're in crazy good shape and all that stuff, but what you still have to do is like, you still have to breathe. You have like the backing track and you have some of the vocals from the main like actual song, so that, you know, they can like, it's not really lip syncing, it's almost like the parts where you're dancing and doing like really hardcore stuff, basically those are filled in, and then there'll be a part that like there's no vocal, and that's where they'll actually sing. So it's not lip syncing, it's just like giving you breaks. The dancing would be way too hard to like sing and dance that at the exact same time. Michael Jackson used to do the exact same thing. And like they're even like, I know I'm talking about this a lot, but it's really cool because it's like an art. You know, putting that stuff together and making it work for a live show. It's so insanely difficult. And I know they work their butts off, and obviously it's obvious because their dancing is insane and it's so well put together. You know how difficult that has to be to like do that and still have to look like you're not out of breath at the end. Like, they're crazy talented, absolutely crazy talented. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Okay, already I love the influences. I love the Stones, I love the Beatles. I mean, this is cool actually. I'm pretty surprised, and this is not what I expected either. I'm sure this is gonna get unbelievably lavish here in like 2 seconds. So actually this is like right in the right tempo for a hit song. This one's gonna be killer. I'm telling you, it's gonna be on the radio a lot. It's got the right tempo for it. In fact, I think it's probably about 110, maybe 112. Pretty sure I'm right there. But anyways, that's about the same as like Can't Stop the Feeling, you know, like I can't stop the feeling, got this feeling in my body, come on. Like that kind of a thing. And those bangers, whenever they're kind of dancey like this, absolutely just kill the radio waves in a good way. Light it up like dynamite. Whoa, Michael Jackson. Oh, this is sick. I can't get past it. It's sick. Like, I'm actually listening to enjoy this. That doesn't happen very often for me. Like, I'm gonna have to re-listen back over this in order to break it down in a couple different ways. This is killer. It looks like the Post Malone video for Circles. They almost like started almost the exact same way, except I think his was like more on like a hill, but you had the same sort of feel, which is cool. It's a cinematic thing, you know. So first off, notice how like you had a ton of lower end sounds coming in, and then all of a sudden when his vocal hits, He's like the perfect person to jump in right off the bat because you have this huge contrast. He has the and it just, that high part of his vocal and like the it's like a higher frequency, that sort of thing. So it just sort of grabs your brain because our brains jump onto higher frequencies faster. We're more attentive to them than we are lower frequencies. So that contrast is what really hits you right off the bat. And see, there they go again with the exact same thing. You know, you have the rap, which has that lower end to it, and then you go all the way up to that, hey, na, na, na. And it really just feels good to hit that. You know, it feels like a banger chorus. You know, everybody always tells me that, which I talk about call and response a lot in music, and everybody like on the BTS comments always says that's what they do with their live shows. And that is what it's meant for, 100%. I can tell right here, this has got to be great for a live show because you have that back and forth between a crowd and between the main vocal, and it's just got to feel so good. I can't even imagine. I want to say one more thing, guys, by the way. Whenever I've never, like, this is the first time I've ever heard this song, my brain keeps jumping to the music. I'm trying to pay attention to the music video too. There's so much that's going on that it's hard for me to keep track of both, and my brain just kind of goes to the music first. So I'm definitely going to have to rewatch this video because, like, I feel like I'm missing so many things, but I keep thinking about the music. So just please don't give me a hard time for it. I'm trying. The reverb that they threw on his vocal gave it that nice, like, dreamy sort of ethereal feel, which walking into the water and all that, it just goes so well with the video. Like, it's unbelievable. They really think these things through. Those little runs in the back are gorgeous too. They fit really, really well in with the melody, which is difficult to do without it being overbearing. He's got an SJC kit in the back. Oh, I have one of those. They're gorgeous. Those are some of the best custom drum kits ever. I love them. Wow. This is something crazy here. They have a tune on their vocal, but here's the thing. Whenever you try and use something like auto-tune live, it's insanely hard because if you're off ever so slightly, one, it's going to drop the note to another note and you're going to sound really, really, really off. But also, if you're just under the note still, it does move it up and it fixes it, but the thing is, it sounds like there's a doubled vocal, and with them, there's no double. It's just spot freaking on, so it's almost not doing anything at all. So they have a track that's being played in the back, that's why there's still horns and everything. But you know what's so difficult about that as well, for the drummer especially, I know this from my stuff. He's playing to a click, so all he hears the entire time is that's it. He hears nothing else but that, and he's just playing the beat, and he's got to stay spot on. If he misses even just a little bit or falls barely out of time, those loops with the horns and everything like that, they're going to come in at the wrong spots, and everything is just going to be thrown way out of whack. Whole song is screwed. It's got to be beautiful. His voice cuts so well, like, it's crazy. They're all stupid talented, but whoa. Every single time, even on the record when he comes in, it's his tone, it's his support, it's his placement, like, it's just, whoa. Stuck in river. I just love how they have that modern little tiny bit of tune on their vocal. And again, I just want to clarify, it's not to fix their vocal, it's literally just for effect. It's kind of like what T-Pain does, except theirs is way, way, way more minimal than that, but it just makes everything sound so clean and so just crisp, you know? And their vocals are already incredibly clean and incredibly crisp. It just accentuates it so much more. Lights will guide you. Something to notice really quick as this is kind of progressing, the song itself, just listen to how it builds the entire time. Line, and then you bring in something else. Then another line, and you bring in something else with it. And you just kind of etch it up into this moment, like this incredible hook, and then it just continues to build more and more throughout the song. Some of the best songs of all time. That's exactly how they're done. I'm also really hoping that they come in just with full on everybody, like all of them harmonizing. Oh, it'll be gorgeous, please. Whoa. I don't think I've ever heard his low register there. Like, that sounds gorgeous. It's got like it's breathy, but it's rich. Wow, that needs to be used way more often. I say this every time, but his vocal is the one that for me just it differentiates everything. Like, it just kind of, you know, I don't want to say because like everybody in this group is just absolutely incredible. Like, all of their vocals are different in their own little ways, you know what I mean? It's just whenever you do switch to something that just has such a different quality, like it sticks out, especially to me. Like, I'm always listening for singers that have something just a little bit different that kind of gives me that feeling, and he has something that pulls me out of where I am and just kind of I don't even know what else to say. Yeah, it's fantastic. First off, live, this is gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be difficult because there's nothing to key him in. You know what I mean? It's just drums, so there's no reference point for him musically to come in on. So that's impressive as it is. This is catchy. This is gonna sit well. I promise you. This one's gonna be in your head for a while. It's gonna be like a Dynamite, which it's actually even in that same sort of realm as Dynamite. That's why it's so catchy. If you ever pay attention, like AC/DC, all of their songs feel almost the exact same. They have all the straight doom, with the same kind of just overall essence to them. And I think that's kind of what they're starting to find here for themselves, which is cool because it's showing how they're growing as artists, you know? Also notice how each section has just added one instrument. This hook is bigger than the last one was by probably one synth, just one kind of little extra element. Also, now I can enjoy their senses of humor too, because now, like, I always thought they were so serious with all this stuff, but they're actually probably just having a ton of fun doing this, which I find so endearing, and it just opens them up as for me as like a real artist. You know, you're enjoying every little aspect of what you're doing, and it's not just doing it for the views. It's not just doing it for the, you know, for the streams. It's doing it because it's fun. Also, notice the separation now. You could see him growing so much. Look at the separation of each one of their quirks. You know, they're starting to highlight on them even more. At least for me, like when I first started listening, I didn't know who was who. I couldn't 100% tell when it was switching, you know, that kind of a thing. It's always that way when you start listening to something brand new. But this, I have a feeling if I heard this first, I would be like, wow, each one is so defined. You know, they have their, again, their little quirks, their little tendencies, and their own kind of element that they bring to the song. Hotter, sweeter, cooler, butter. Get it, let it roll. Well, anyways, that was fantastic, and it's a good like length for a song and everything. I dig it. They just pump them out, and they work. They work so hard. This is cool. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging around. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and till next time, I'll catch y'all later.
자, 오늘 콘텐츠는 여기까지고요. 저는 더 흥미로운 영상으로 돌아오겠습니다. 그럼 이만.